Today I've got a bit of information to get through, so pause it and grab a pen and paper. Where I want to start today is with the fact that we are a limited and an unlimited being, okay? We are spirit who can manifest, who can create the reality and our life that we love, right? We have all the possibilities in the world in our spirit form. However, we came to Earth and we are a human which has limitations. And we have our subconscious which creates or carries limitations. So there's the challenge there that we have the spirit that wants to achieve all these wonderful things and can, but depending on what our bodies can do. Now, our bodies are pretty incredible in themselves. So let's not resent our bodies. It's amazing that we're even here, all right? But we can work around things too. And of course, there's the subconscious and the self-conscious, which are at battle with each other. The self-conscious wanting to achieve and be rewarded and all those things. And the subconscious, which is the feeling, got to keep you safe, challenging aspect. So if we were just to depend on our spirit form and wait for God to provide, or the universe or source, whatever you want to call it, we're not going to get anywhere. We need to actually take action. The way to manifesting is taking action, one of the steps. And the story I've heard repeatedly, but I'll share with you, is that there's been a flood and there's someone who's trapped in his home and he goes from the bottom floor to the top floor and a boat goes past and sees him in there and says, "Would you like some help? Jump in the boat." And he said, "No, I know God will look after me." And they go off, and then he climbs up to the roof as the waters get higher and a helicopter comes along and they want some help. We can drop down a rope. And he says, no, God will save me. And all these different things happen and he ends up drowning. And he goes up to heaven and says, "God, I believed in you, let me down." And God said, "What are you talking about? I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter." You still need to take that step, right? You can't just sit there and expect things to happen. And where we take our action from usually is our emotions. And as I said earlier, our emotions are in our subconscious, which is where our limiting beliefs sit, where our negative thoughts, our protection, don't do that, don't take risks, is sitting. So the actions that we take can show us where we need to do the work, where our beliefs, our resistances are, to release those and let go of them. I've got a few things, slow down, Dee. Learn from me, I'm always rushing. Slow down, breathe. So one of the things I'm going to take you through today is I've got a list here, 6 sabotaging identities, and I'll show you the 8 ineffective choices we make. So whenever these pop up, you know you're facing something you need to release or work on. And awareness is huge. Knowledge creates awareness, which creates a different action, okay? So if you have a pen and paper, you can write these down. To begin with, I'll start with the sabotaging identities, and they're not in any particular order, all right? So the 6 sabotaging identities are, I'm not good enough. Now, if you have the belief I'm not good enough, it means that you need to prove you're good enough. So you're going to be getting those certificates, getting those gold medals, the overachiever, okay? Or trying to be the overachiever. That shows that you're not good enough, or you believe you're not good enough. Next is I'm not worthy. If you believe you're not worthy, again, you're going to be trying to prove that you are. So you'll be out there saving animals, helping everybody else, giving to prove that you're worthy. I'm not capable. This person has to prove that they are capable. And getting those certificates again, like the I'm not good enough, doing 5 different things at once, okay, trying to prove that they're capable. I'm insignificant. This person either needs to be seen and heard all the time, or doesn't have any goals, isn't striving for anything, because they just don't believe it's significant. I'm not perfect. The perfectionist. Everything has to be just so. Has to be great. Or I don't belong, which is because of moving around a lot growing up, or if you immigrated is another way or another reason to have this belief. I grew up moving from state to state and all over the place, so I definitely had this. Always trying to find your tribe. Changing yourself to fit in. That's what we do if we don't belong. Now most people have all 6 of these, but there's some that'll be stronger than others. And once you understand these, you'll see them when you start doing them. Or you'll start to realize, which I did with the certification. I did a hypnotherapy course, and it cost a bit more to have that certificate. Had to pay for the certificate. Same with the superconscious recode. You have to pay more for the certificate. And with the hypnotherapy, I did. And I realized I only did it for me. No one ever asked to see my certificates. Ever. So the certificate isn't necessary. It made me realize I was trying to prove that I'm capable. Another big one for me is that I'm not worthy. I still notice that one in me. Even my coach says to me, you're giving away too much. It's too much, it's free. And that's the unworthy, trying to prove that I'm worthy. See what I'm doing for you? That's what unworthy feels like. And when you notice these things, you can change your action, okay? Like I said, from the hypnotherapy to the superconscious recode. I didn't pay that extra for the certificate. So have a think about those. And they can change depending on the situation you're in too. Something else will trigger a different sabotaging identity. Now, the 8 ways we create ineffective choices. This is something else to look out for. Is choice by limitation. So you're choosing by what seems possible or reasonable. As I suggested back in the beginning, we are a spirit being as well as a physical being, and the spirit can do anything. The spirit can manifest, it can dream, it can send messages, right? To show you go this way, go that way. So we can, in fact, create this life that we love. But if you're making choices by limitations, then you may not achieve those. A great, a great bit of homework, if you like, to do, which I've done in the past, is write down all the possibilities. It's possible that someone will come and tell me you've won 10K for a raffle ticket a friend bought you, right? It's possible that I'll have suddenly overnight 10 different clients contact me looking to join the program. It's possible. You see what I'm saying? There's so much possibility, yet we limit ourselves to what we believe and what we can see. Choice by indirectness, choosing the process instead of the result, which I'll talk about with our true choices. Losing weight, health and vitality. The choice to lose weight is a limited, as to limitation as well, is a limited perspective because that's a stepping stone. It's not actually the end result. Choice by elimination, eliminating all other possibilities so only one choice remains. That's the long way about things, isn't it? Try that, no. Try that, no. Try that, no. Try that, no. Try that, yes. Ineffective choices. Choice by default. The choice not to make a choice, so that whatever result happens seems to occur without choice, so that all that is left is reaction. So basically, not making a choice, you're sitting there and waiting to see what happens and then responding to what happens. It's not a choice really at all. Conditional choice, imposing preconditions on choices. So I'll do this if, I'll do this when. And that, by the way, is I'm not capable as well. I'll have this when I get that. Choice by reaction. Choice is designed to overcome a conflict. Again, when we are striving for something, you want to look at the big picture, not fixing the problem. That's an ineffective choice. What will get me here? Not what will fix that. Choice by consensus. Choosing by finding out what everyone else is willing to recommend and following the results of that poll. Hopefully you can see how that's an ineffective choice. It's not your decision anymore, it's everyone else's. And only you know what you want and how you can do it, ultimately. It's okay to ask for suggestions or perspectives, I suppose, to make a logical choice, but are you limiting yourself by doing that? Choice by adverse possession. So this choice is based on a hazy metaphysical notion about the nature of the universe. In the creative orientation, you consciously choose. So that's suggesting that you're relating to the external world and limiting yourself there. I know it's a lot to take in, which is why you can write it all down and refer to it a few times. But that really is a great way to understand where you might be falling over or being held up, Those sabotaging identities are massive. And any of these, when we do the recodes, when we're looking at our resistances, they may pop up now that you're aware of them. And we can release them there.